Well, first of all, let me admit that any of these scandals are troubling for democracy as a whole. And considering the Financial Management Act that was passed during the Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration, um, it's a bit surprising that such one accusations can be leveled against people, and more importantly, I think that based on past events, I'm very skeptical when scandals are raised, and I've always been citing the Airbus situation where we thought we were hanging
The former president,
then
former president,
and now president of the country, and I think that is unfortunate how he was you know labeled as guilty, and then eventually news broke out on many fronts that what we thought was not the case, and I can also cite the likes of Opuni, Cocoa Board, which I thought 2 months after winning 2016 election, he would have been literally jailed. I mean, I'm just using these as, examples. Or the almighty Wyoming case, in all fairness, I think that many things don't seem as they really are. And I will be very cautious in passing judgment or comments about some of these cases. Invariably, one thing is quite clear to me, that Oral was one exaggerated, very unfair to the political class in this country. And to some extent, I can almost say that the Attorney General summed it up nicely, that there were errors made in the assumptions when they, started Oral.
By the initial committee.
The initial committee. And that some of the numbers had not been thoroughly examined, and some of the accusations were not necessarily ferreted and double checked if they would stand the test of time. And I think that what is very clear to me is that one, we politicize a lot of things, and unfortunately, in the interest of selling a story of MPP being corrupt, some of these cases were over bloated, figures inflated. And I also speak from my experience with the Public Account Committee. And I always say that the media is always quiet on the after, review, where we realize that the quantums that are mentioned, 15 billion, are not necessarily 15 billion, but in all of them are some of the, very well placed structures that have not been completed, but are considered as, financial loss to the state because the projects have not been completed either on time. But when you go there, the brick and mortar is there. So in many instances, it's unfortunate how we either underreport the good news or how we blow up numbers without going into detail. Because I would borrow from my public account experience where, for instance, you'd go into an issue only to recognize that there were maybe management exit, resolutions which were not well captured, or documentations that were not readily available, but the work had been done. And I think that in all of this, one of our challenges in this country largely is record keeping. And I think that the only thing that may come out of this is, sort of a warning to current CEOs and future CEOs in how they conduct business. And I think that also some of these things are administrative lapses that needs to be looked at carefully. In the sense that a few that I had heard, you know, were not necessarily lost to the state, but you know, sometimes, I mean, single sourcing, but the work was actually done. So it's a bit, some are technical in nature, but overall, I think that when it's all done, we will either come to that realization that, listen, they may have either overbought, in some instances, actual properties of the NSS, and or somebody feels that maybe some of the softwares were overly charged, as in the case of like the Ghana Health Services, and in fact, I don't want to be difficult, but I think that National Service Secretariat, whether in MPP or NDC times, have always been,
the ghost names issue has
I mean,
been
it's
around
always
for some
been
time.
there, and I would plead with the NDC. I remember some other characters in the NDC in the 2000s and 2012-ish were also hanged for wrong reasons. When eventually, I remember, I think the Domiabra former MP, what's her name? A beautiful woman, Sophia. Sophia was literally implicated only for exoneration to come when they did the digging. So I want us to have this in hindsight, where unfortunately people in the line of doing governmental work are literally bastardized, and sometimes you cannot ever even recover
from the reputational damage.
And I stand in the shoes of the likes of the Opunis, the John Dramani Mahamas of this country, who somehow, in the line of trying to quadruple check plain situations, were put on the burner.
Larry,